Following are installation instructions for Enduro Engineering Skidplate, part numbers 24-066, 24-076, and 24-176. Now before we begin, you will note that we recommend using a thread locking agent on all 4 skid plate mounting poles. First, start by using a small screwdriver to pry out the 2 plastic plugs from the threaded holes in the rear of the frame. Be careful not to pry too hard on the side of the hole and damage the threads. On EXC models, use an 8mm socket or T-handle to remove the evaporative canister mounting bolts. Now insert the front skid plate mounting bracket between the front motor mount brackets on the frame as shown. Now insert the 2 supplied 6x16mm button head bolts through the small holes in each side of the frame above the front motor mount bolt and through the holes in the skid plate mounting bracket. Now place one of the supplied flat washers and start one of the supplied self-locking nuts on each bolt. Use a 4mm Allen wrench and a 10mm box end wrench to hold the locking nut and tighten the bolts just enough to allow slight rotation of the mounting bracket. Now hold the Enduro Engineering skid plate up to the bike and insert the 2 supplied 6x20mm button head bolts through the rear skid plate mounting holes and into the threaded holes in the rear of the frame. On EXC models, hold the skid plate up to the bike and insert the 2 supplied 6x30mm hex head bolts through the evaporative canister, then through the rear skid plate mounting holes and into the threaded holes in the frame. Do not tighten yet. Insert 2 of the supplied 6x16mm button head bolts through the front skid plate mounting holes and into the threaded holes in the front mounting bar as shown. Now it may be necessary to slightly rotate the mounting bracket to align mounting holes. Do not tighten yet. Tighten down the front mounting bar to frame bolts using a 4mm Allen wrench and a 10mm box end wrench to hold the locking nuts. Make sure the skid plate is centered and not in contact with the ignition cover on the left side of the engine. Using a 4mm Allen wrench, tighten the 2 front and the 2 rear skid plate mount bolts. On EXC models, use an 8mm socket or T-handle to tighten the 2 rear skid plate evaporative canister bolts. If you have questions regarding this or any product from Enduro Engineering, please feel free to email us at sales@enduroeng.com or give us a call at 517-393-2421. And we thank you for purchasing products from Enduro Engineering.